What's good, peeps? Thanks always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Don't forget as well, please, to like and share all the videos. Thank you to everyone that has done that. And you can support the channel as well. I do have a Patreon account. The link is in the description. All right. I tweeted about 2-3 months ago that if boxing fails to deliver us Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, then it has failed fans, especially hardcore fans, immensely. Like, just, I wouldn't be able to put my disappointment into words if I don't get to see Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. And I don't feel like that about all the so-called super matchups. Like, if I don't get to see, I don't know, Joshua Fury or Joshua Wilder, I'll be upset, but nowhere near as upset if I don't get to see Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. And I'm not talking about giving that fight to me in 4 or 5 years. I don't want to see Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford when Terence Crawford's fucking 37, 38 and Errol Spence is 35, 36. No. I'm talking about seeing it in the next 12 to 18 months. If we don't get to see it, then boxing has just fucked up. It really is. We're talking about two guys that right now are sitting no worse than both of them being top 7 pound for pound. You're talking Errol Spence, world champion, WBC, IBF, unbeaten, destructive. You're talking Terence Crawford, world champion, WBO, freeweight world champion, obviously belts at 135, cleaned up at 140, and now unbeaten so far at 147. I mean, you're talking two guys that it's almost a barbershop argument. You go into the barbershop, who's the best welterweight? Some will say Crawford, some will say Spence, and the arguments will keep on going, right? It will just keep on going. We have to see this fight. Now, we all know the hurdles, right? We all know them. Not just because of PBC and Top Rank. Now it's even gotten more difficult because of Errol Spence having this car crash and him being out of the ring until possibly the summer of 2020. But Bob Arum did say, and he might just be talking shit, right? He might just be saying this because of the lack of interest of Terence Crawford's fight this evening or the early hours of tomorrow morning. But he did say if Errol Spence gets healthy, or when Errol Spence gets healthy, it's a 1-hour conversation with Al Heyman to make this fight. Now, again, I don't know if this is true or not because Terence Crawford sat down with Andre Ward. I think Andre Ward asked him the likelihood of this fight happening, and he pretty much said it isn't going to happen, or it won't happen, or he doesn't think that it's going to happen. So Bob Arum could be just chatting rubbish, but he did say that before the car crash, there were negotiations or conversations at least had started about making the Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. I think he could be telling the truth. I do believe him. The reason I do believe him is because of Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. That's Top Rank right there, Top Rank ESPN working with Al Heyman, PBC, Showtime, Fox. So that's telling me it can work, right? They are working with each other, which is very different to a couple of years ago when I think Bob Arum called Al Heyman the devil of boxing. Right now, they're working with each other. And I think once a big pot of money is available, they're happy to work. The problem is there a big pot of money available for Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence? There should be, right? I mean, that is an epic fight. Epic fight. But you do wonder if it's a big money fight. And that seems to be the problem. I mean, is it a big money fight? If the fight does go on either platform, is it a fight that will generate, I don't know, 700,000 to 800,000 pay-per-view buys? Don't know. And there's also the argument about who's the A side and who's the B side, right? Errol Spence already talked about, being the A side. You hear him say it now with the likes of Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. He's always talking about, I'm the A side, I'm the A side. And you got Terence Crawford over there, who, yes, doesn't do good numbers. We know that. But he'll think, wait a minute, I'm an unbeaten freeweight world champion. I'm the A side. As long as egos can be put aside and someone just kind of close their eyes and take the 40 split, a 60-40 split, the fight can happen. But I still don't know if it generates the amount of money that makes both parties come to the table. Don't know. I don't know. Because it is a risky fight for both, let's be honest. I mean, there is no clear favourite in this fight. And you do wonder, for a fight of this magnitude, you'll think that both parties want minimum $10 million each. Does the fight generate that? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I hope with the right push and the right promotion, I think Fox do a good job in promoting. Showtime will if they take the fight. Maybe not so much ESPN, but you hope with the right promotion, the right push, it can do that. Can the fight happen in 2020? I doubt it, right? I mean, if Errol Spence didn't have that car crash, possibly, because he was going to go into a fight with Danny Garcia. He might have taken a voluntary or mandatory somewhere else, and then you could maybe have the fight at the back end of December. With the car crash, obviously that's now kind of, I don't know, put him back about 8-9 months. He's talking about coming back the summer of 2020, which would be an easier fight, let's be honest. I don't think he's going to go from that to Crawford. You kind of want one more. Crawford would take the fight, but I don't think Errol would straight after that. I just don't think he would. So the likelihood is that we see Crawford fight a couple more guys that we're not happy about. And then realistically, I know this sounds very far off, people, but realistically, we are looking at, I don't know, what's the big date in 2021? May, that weekend, right? That huge boxing weekend in 2021, which sounds so far off, but I guess it sounds better than never. Peace.